be starting this session very soon. Until then, please make sure that you have a stable internet connection. All your teammates and friends have joined. One important announcement is that due to the Zoom account reaching its full capacity, all the other people who are not able to enter this meeting can watch the entire session on YouTube Live. Yeah, the link to YouTube Live is on your WhatsApp groups. So all those unable to join the Zoom meeting, please visit YouTube Live. Your chat, all your questions, they all will be addressed over there. So we'll be starting very shortly. Let's give all everybody else a bit more time to join. Let's take 2 or 3 minutes to start it. Okay, so we are ready to start. I hope you all are ready too. People on Zoom, people on YouTube Live, welcome everyone. I really hope you have a great session and the program ahead of you. Today is the first masterclass for the IBM Skills Build Summer Certification Program 2025. It's called From Learner to Builder, Become an AI Agent. The key subject matter for this program is Agentic AI. And I really hope that you all had a great self-learning week. I hope you learned a lot. Hopefully, you all got your certificates. And we are very overwhelmed and very happy with the response that we have received from you guys. So, thank you very much for that. So, before anything, let's start with the attendance for today's session. All right, so I request you all, you can either scan this QR code or the link will be provided to you all in your YouTube chat or Zoom chat along with in your WhatsApp groups. So we are following a two-way attendance method. There will be two attendance, one in the beginning and one towards the end. So make sure that you are here throughout the session. Let's start with marking the in attendance. I request you all to either scan the QR code or use the links provided to you in your chat or on the WhatsApp groups. So let's take 2 minutes for everybody to mark in your attendance. And all those people who are done, if you have marked in your attendance, let me know. Let us know if you have done. Maybe give us a thumbs up or a message in the chat, a yes in the chat. So let's take 2 minutes. Charu has already completed her attendance. Mukund is taking some time. Mukund Agarwal. All right, without taking a lot of time, I request everybody to you can either take a screenshot for this QR code or the link is already in your chat or groups. Please copy those links and fill in your attendance. So let's kickstart today's session with a huge congratulations to all the students who have successfully completed their self-learning week assignments. So congratulations to all of you, and your dedication and your commitment are to your independent learning are truly commendable. So well done and congratulations to all of you. So moving ahead, so this is the essential timeline. I am sure you, most of you have already seen it in the orientation session. But to reiterate, we have completed the orientation session and the self-learning week for this program. Today, that is the 11th of July, we have the first masterclass, and the schedule is on your screen. If you want, you can take a screenshot, and all the master classes and essential meetings will be held at the same time, that is 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the dates that are present on your screen. So you please save this information so you all can be punctual and consistent throughout the program. Moving on. So these are the essential topics and information that you will learn throughout this program. Today is the first masterclass. We have already completed the orientation. Today we will learn mostly about the foundations of agentic AI. I really hope you are excited and to learn. And the completion of self-learning week was not the only good news. So another good news for all the students, because you had quite a busy week, you had your college work and other things to take care of. So we have decided to extend the submission deadline up to Sunday, 5 p.m. That is the 13th of July, 2025, so that you can take the weekend, your free time on weekend, to complete your self-learning assignments. Now, it is very important. We have received this query from a lot of you that you guys have submitted the first certificate, that is the rise of multi-agent systems. You accidentally you have submitted. So right now, please make sure that you edit your submission. It is very important that you submit your final completion certificate that looks something like this. The image on the right of your screen, the certificate will look something like that, and the link to the submission form. So we are also receiving a lot of queries saying that the server is rejected. That is because the storage is full. So we have created a new submission form. The link to that is on the left of your screen. So you can scan this QR code and it will take you to the submission form, where make sure that you certificate only the final completion certificate and not any other. And the final completion certificate is on your screen on the right. So let's move on. Hopefully you all have the links or you have taken a screenshot or a photo of this QR code. Without further ado, let's moving on. So again, a reminder to you all that the first three are your deliverables for your self-learning week, the three assignments that you will be completing on the IBM Skillsville platform. And of course, the final deliverable that you will learn more about in the coming sessions, that will be a team project. So very important to remember that every member of your team has to complete the self-learning week deliverables. And there are three of them. They are on your screen right now. As I said, you already have the submission form, and the deadline has been extended till Sunday, 13th of July. So please make sure all those who missed due to some other commitments, you can use your time on the weekend to complete them and upload them on the form, uploading the final completion certificate. And also, if anybody is still missing a link or access to your learning plan, your course, or the platform, this is the platform called IBM Skillsville. You can scan this QR code, or the links are already in your WhatsApp groups. You can use them to access the platform and complete your learning plan. Okay, I see in the chat a lot of people have completed their attendance, filled in their forms. So Farhan, Azad, Ayush, Charu, a lot of you have done. They will. Good job, guys. Okay, so hopefully you have also uh, stored this link as well. Now everybody has the access to the platform and the learning plan. So let's move on. I will introduce you to your speaker and the trainer for this program. His name is Amit Tiwari. Amit is an entrepreneur, a consultant, as well as a trainer. He also bachelor degrees in electronics and specializes in artificial intelligence. He has had a diverse career. He has taken more than 250 master classes and trained over 15,000 students, and also served as a guest lecturer in numerous colleges across country. So without wasting any more time, I request you all to please welcome Mr. Amit Tiwari. Over to you, Amit. Please go on.
All right. Thank you so much, Karthik, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Amit Tiwari, and I welcome you to IBM Skills Build Internship. First of all, congratulations for completing the learning plan, and a huge congratulations on taking a step towards your own learning journey. I know in this world that we are living right now, we have so many distractions, and to find time to make that time useful to learn something new is really commendable, and I congratulate you for taking that step. We are live. Thousands of us are live today for this agentic AI internship, where we are going to learn how to design our own AI agents. So when I was teaching this artificial intelligence 2 or 3 years back, I was seeing a huge trend in generative AI, right? So right when the OpenAI launched its ChatGPT 3.5 model when we were also in the lockdown period, we all used all these ChatGPT models, and we have at some point of time have used these generative AI tools at most once. And we were saying in 2023 that 2023 was the year of prompt engineers, right? There was a huge demand of people who could write effective prompts, who could use these generative AI tools to design or generate content on whatever they required. And the trend has now shifted to 2025 being the age, being the era, or being the year of agentic AI systems. There are many AI agents that a lot of companies are designing. People are designing their own AI agents to solve some problem or to do some work for themselves. And that's what we will learn in this masterclass. All these 5 sessions that we are going to have together, from conception, from ideas to production, we are going to design our AI agents. We are going to learn a lot of new things in this, some drag and drop tools, some IBM things along the way. And we will use all of that ecosystem to design our first agent right in today's masterclass itself. So I have designed these slides for you, which I will share in a while. And I will just share my screen so that you can see what the slides that I have designed. Karthik, you can stop sharing so that I can stop. I can start.
Sure, Amit, sure.
All right, thank you so much. So we will begin with our first masterclass. And let's go. All right, so I have been talking about artificial intelligence and particularly AI agents, which we are learning in this masterclass. So what is an AI agent? So I am not going to go into introduction of artificial intelligence. I hope that all of you have heard the term till now. You have some idea of artificial intelligence. Back in 2020 when I started teaching, or 2018 when I started teaching, I used to introduce AI to people that this is what AI is. Now I don't have to, because all of us know what AI is, and we have used ChatGPT, Gemini, Midjourney, or whatever tool that are there in the market at least once in our life, or to do some assignment, to write some mail, or to write some story, or to design a Ghibli art that was trending in the last few months. So let's begin with something which is really trending, and which is very the
Hello, Amit. Can I
yes,
interrupt you for a while?
sure,
We are facing a small issue with YouTube Live. We are
okay,
not able to go live on YouTube. Can you please take a pause for a few minutes?
sure.
Maybe I can come back. Until then, you can still continue the subject, but maybe you can take a diversion, teach something else, and I'll let you know when we are live on YouTube so you can continue the class.
Perfect. No worries. All right. So, what is a AI agent? We were talking about all these things. Until we go live, let's talk about what is trending in the market right now. So, each and every company, including my own company, we are designing our own AI agents for different workplaces, for different use cases. AI agents are these autonomous agents that complete certain tasks. So, till now, we were using AI as something that we were retrieving the information from, right? So let's say that we use ChatGPT to give me some answers or write me something, but it was just generating this content. I still had to like copy this content from here, go to my email, and then paste it there and do all of these things to make it work, right? There was still a manual process involved. So the rise of agents or AI agents is such that it acts on my behalf, or it acts on the behalf of a user to design its workflow, and by using whatever the available tools. So think of a problem. Let's say that I receive lots of emails every day, and I have this problem of receiving an email every day, and then I am designing an agent that can read my emails, generate a response to the emails, send these response to whatever person that is there. So we will begin with a simple agent today. We will design this agent where the agent can read my email, write a response, automatically send these emails to the person who is sending me all these mails. So that's a really powerful thing, right? So whenever I am not there, let's say I'm taking a vacation, it is still reading my emails, writing a very nice, polite reply, knowing who I am, and then sending it on my behalf to the person. So it's kind of like an automated process. The usual way is how we use AI in general life, right? So I receive an email, I copy that email, I send it, I pasted it on ChatGPT, ask it to write me a reply. It will write me a reply, and then I will go to my email agent again, let's say, which is Gmail, and then again I am typing the email and then sending it. So that's the usual kind of like the process. But the agent that we will design today will automatically read my emails, write a response to these emails, and send them um, mm, uh, to the person that is sending me the email. So this is kind of like really powerful. Think of a someone is asking me on the chat box, how can we make a AI agent a product for a business? How to find the problem, right? So you find problems in which you are, let's say, you have experienced them. Let's say that you are experienced in digital marketing, so you create a digital marketing agent. So you know the workflow, right? So a simple digital marketing agent can be learning from a big business profile, and then writing a strategy of understanding from the business profile, writing a strategy for that agent, for that person, and then showing it in a beautiful dashboard, and then dividing that strategy into different tasks, and each agent is doing all these tasks. So you need to find out the problem that is relevant to you, in which you are also expert in, that you can design. uh, let's say a common problem that you can find is a lot of people, when they are like single business owners or solo founders, they don't have a large team, right, to work with. So how can we make AI agents for them so that they save time as well as money um, to by using these agents. So let's say that I design someone who kind of like acts like a personal assistant, whom any job that I assign to, and any job that I want it to give to any person that I want to assign it to. So it automatically assigns it, it sends them emails, it reads their emails, writes the replies to them. So you can think of a problem from all these domains, or you can think of a generic problem, whatever comes to your mind. But the thing is that you should be an expert of that problem. Even if you are not expert, do a research, collaborate with someone who has done that work. You can also interview like industry people, and then design all these different agents. Naveen is asking, agentic AI is going to replace software developers? It already has. All right. So a lot of software developers. So I don't consider software developers as in people who write code. People who only know how to write code will be replaced for sure. All right. And that's not a hyperbole that I'm saying. People who know how to solve a problem will not be replaceable. So if you only know how to write syntax in a particular language, let's say Python or C, if you only know the syntactic knowledge of the language and not the problem solving or not the logic of it, then of course you will be replaced. But if you know how to solve a problem, if you know uh, uh, what kind of product that you want to design, then you will never be replaced. I'm getting the question, will web developers be replaced by AI? If they are not creative enough, if they are not doing anything innovative, surely they will be replaced. If they are just doing repetitive tasks, let's say that they are copying some template and then putting the content there, that's a repetitive task, and that's what I won't say as a web developer, right? That may be a web designer for sure. And these repetitive tasks AI can handle really beautifully and really powerfully, so they will be, of course, be replaced. Tanish is saying, do you think we need to first get our hands on machine learning so that we build our own AI agents? No, I don't think so. Machine learning is another subset of AI. In AI agents, we need to understand more about the logic and how large language models work. It's not necessary to understand machine learning before designing our AI agent. I am not going to talk about autonomous AI agents in learning domain. Like, let's say that you want to design a robot which learns from its environment and does certain things. They are also called AI agents, but I'm not going to talk about them. I'm going to talk about like generative AI agents, which are kind of like software AI agents, because that's the most that I can teach, right? I can't teach you hardware uh, in a open internet kind of setting on Zoom or something like that. But software kind of agents, we definitely will talk about. Harsh is saying that, is there any language barrier? No, there is no language barrier. Even if you talk in English to any large language model, it will be able to answer there. I think a little bit of knowledge about Python is good. A little bit of knowledge about uh, front end, back end, and database management is really really necessary. Like Node, React, JS. If you know a little bit about them, if you know how to make it work, that just the gist of it, that would be fine. Ashu is saying that, can we make a company using AI agents only, like a one-person company? Of course, I believe that it's going to happen really really soon, and uh, uh, I mean, AI will always like AI will help people to automate their task to a state that um, if you have a good idea in mind, that if you have a good product, let's say that you have a suite of AI agents where they are marketing it for you, or they are doing the sales, and they are managing your team and everything. So you just instruct these AI tools. Um, and it's quite possible, and I really agree with OpenAI's founder Sam Altman's prediction that we will be seeing a $1 billion company really really soon. Karthik, is the problem solved, or we are still waiting for the live? Asta is saying, is AI going to affect employment opportunities future? It already is affecting, and that's not kind of like more. Um, we should not be intimidated by it taking our jobs. We should be thriving for being more creative. one thing that particularly interests me is that a lot of people will now be able to code. The people who did not were able to, or will be able to design these things very easily. And the adoption of those people will be more in the industry. Like we begin with, let's say we start with programming language, right? If we talk about 1950s, then only a handful of people knew how to code a computer. Then came assembly language, then a lot of people were able to code these computers. Then came the C language, where a lot of people could code the computers because it was easy. Then came Python, which was easier, right? And the way that we can design softwares and the way that we can design our own systems became easier and easier, right? So the idea is, how can we leverage this tool to design systems and to solve a problem, right? For problem solvers, there will be no employment efficiency. For people who only think in one direction and have only one acquired skill, maybe they will be replaced. Let's say that I acquire a skill of proficiency in one language, let's say Python, and I say that I'm really good in Python, and I'm not good in ideas, I'm just good in coding, right? So I get ideas from some person and I code. So if I have that kind of skill where I only know the language, then of course I will be replaced, because someone can give an idea to an agent also, right? And the agent will write the code really, really beautifully. Yes. In future, will there be a job of AI agent developer? Definitely. Not in future. It's happening right now, right in 2025. A lot of companies are writing their own AI agents. I was talking to my brother who works for EY. He works as a management consultant there, and in EY, he was saying that a lot of automations and a lot of personal assistants are being deployed inside the company itself, and a lot of task is being delegated and checked by artificial intelligence only. So the people who used to just monitor, and the managers who used to spend time in following up with some employee, those kind of tasks are now being done with the help of artificial intelligence, and that's the kind of the world that we are moving in, and that's why the job of AI agent developers is really,
Hello,
really.
Amit.
Yes, Karthik.
Sorry to interrupt you again, but we are live,
Thank you so much.
and I'm sorry we have been making you talk for so long
It's
and
not.
also making students wait. I apologize for the inconvenience, but you can go on now.
But I have got beautiful, beautiful questions which I will answer uh, all along this
Okay,
way.
sure.
Yeah,
You are
Monalisa
the
is asking.
expert.
Yeah.
You are the expert. You continue.
Sure. Thank you so much. So Mona Lisa is asking, do you show practically how to make an agent? Yes, that's what we are going to do in this whole masterclass. I'm going to do everything practical live here right now. We are going to create an agent and deploy it for ourselves. So we'll start with really, really basic things, drag and drop thing, some amount of coding today. And then in the next class, we'll go to a little bit of like into prompt engineering and into lang graphs, which is kind of like really efficient way of designing our own AI agents. Then I will go into something which is called deployment on Vercel, concepts of Vercel and all these things. Just a second, I will take a call. Yes, Karthik. कहाँ है स्क्रीन शेयर मेरी? ओके, cool, ठीक है. तो मेरा ओके, cool. अभी सही है? Thanks. All right. Thank you so much, Karthik, for informing that my screen is being shared. But I hope that I am on the right screen right now. All right. So let's start designing our own AI agents. So let's begin with the definition of AI system and an AI agent. What is the difference between AI system and an AI agent? All right. So we let's talk about first what is an AI system and what is artificial intelligence. What we have been learning and doing in our day-to-day life, right? So a simple AI system that we use today looks like this, right? So we use an AI system to list flights, suggest hotels, summarizes policy. So let's say that you want to use a AI system to do a trip to Goa, let's say. All right. So what you will do? What is the normal plan that you follow? You go to ChatGPT. You ask ChatGPT, what are the flights to Goa? It will give you an answer of some flights, right? So these are the flights for Goa. You can pick the good one, and then you ask ChatGPT to suggest you some hotels, and then it suggests you some hotels, and then you ask it to design some plans for you, right? Let's say you ask it to make a 5-day plan for your Goa trip, and it suggests you that these are the things that you can do in Goa. These are the places that you can visit. Day one you do this, day one, day two you do this, and all these things, right? So this is a simple AI system that we work, intelligence system, or the simple generative AI that we use in our day-to-day life. What an AI agent is that it automatically completes your task also. So it not just uh, make a list of flights for this. It also arranges transportation. So it books these flights for you. So it doesn't just give you the flights. So it makes a decision which is an intelligent decision based on the prompt or the response that you have given, right? And it also books hotels. So if you say that, okay, book me the best hotel which comes in my range, let's say 3,000 to 3,500, it goes into some API, like let's say Go Ibibo or whatever, make my trip, their API, and then book the best hotel for you. And it also updates your calendar that, okay, on these dates you have to do this, on these dates that you have to go, and it also sets you a reminder. So a AI agent not only gives you suggestions, not only generates content for you, it also does these tasks for you, and that's what makes it really, really powerful. So what is an AI agent? What an AI agent is, and how we can work with an AI agent. So basically, in the heart of an AI agent, there is a language model. All right. So all the tools that we use today, like ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever AI tool that you have been using, is a language model, right? So and you talk to this AI tool in natural language, and this natural language model does some reasoning. There are some reasoning concepts, and this is what makes an AI agent. So there is an input layer where you talk to this AI agent in a natural language. This natural language model is doing some reasoning. It is taking some steps, and this is what we call as AI agent. All right. So what are the limitations of a simple AI system? All right. So a simple AI system like the one that we talked about, like here, which generates some tasks, some things like text, photos, videos, and everything. What are the limitations of this? So the limitation is that in those AI systems, so all the large language model that we use today, like ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever you use, we have a start, which is the prompt that we give to this AI tool. And this large language model or this AI, generative AI, it it processes your prompt and gives an output, right? So this is how it behaves. Just a second, I'll just plug in my PC. It doesn't make any decision or it doesn't do any tasks for us. It just responds with whatever text or generates text. It does not have access to tools. It does not have access to external context, right? Or multi-step workflow. It doesn't do things for me. That's the limitation of a simple AI system that we have. So just a large language model, if you're using ChatGPT or Gemini, then this is the workflow that it looks like. And many LLM application use a control flow. So they use like a step-by-step flow. So step one, you do this, and then there is a LLM in between, and then it follows certain steps, and then it goes to an end. So there are some steps which are pre or post LLM call. So let's say that one feature that I can talk about in ChatGPT is that you can put in your own content, right? So let's say that you can upload your files to ChatGPT and ask it to read from the file. So there is a step where you upload this file, and then there is ChatGPT which reads the file, and then it returns. If you say that you return the file in a specific format, it returns the file, and the other step is to download that file, right? So it follows some steps which are pre or post these LLM calls. There are some tool calls. Let's say that ChatGPT will call a PDF writer to convert your whatever text it has written to PDF and then give it to you for download. But there is no decision making involved in this. This is also called a chain flow. You can add some decision making also in this chain flow, but the best part of the best kind of like AI agent is when it follows certain steps or certain flows on by taking a decision. So let's say that I want to design an AI agent which reads my email. Okay, so step one is to read my email, and this large language model or ChatGPT reads my email and classifies that email as personal or professional. Okay, so on the base of whatever email that it is reading, it classifies it as personal and professional. All right, so and if it is a personal email, it will send a personal reply, more personalized in a more empathetic manner. And if it is a professional email, then it will reply it in a professional manner, right? So this large language model is making a decision whether to reply, or let's say that no reply at all. So if we have a personal email, we won't reply. If we have a professional email, we will reply. Let's say that I only want to use this AI agent to reply to my professional queries only and not my personal ones, because personal ones I like to reply to these queries, right? So these large language models that we use are making a decision. They are learning from your data. They are doing certain tasks. They are reading your email, making a decision whether that email is personal or professional. And then it is going into those workflows. So if it is personal, do not reply. If it is professional, then reply. So this will become more clear when we design these agents in practice. All right. So this is kind of like called a workflow. So each agent that you design a workflow for that agent. What will that agent do? From where the branching will happen? In which branches these decision making will happen? All right. So there are two types of agents. There is a fixed flow agent, which follows a fixed type of steps. So there is one step, you take data from a form, then there is a LLM in between, and then you take the data and then you write something. Then you generate something, and then after that you do some steps. And then there is one more way of designing an agent, which is the agentic flow. That means that we are using a large language model as a brain to take a decision. All right. So this is what is revolutionary. um, Previously, what we did was these LLMs were not very good with reasoning, right? So let's say that if I give some prompt to ChatGPT, it would generate me something, but it would not be very good in understanding what I'm saying and reasoning with it, right? So let's say that I ask ChatGPT that going to give you a paragraph, and on the base of paragraph, define what the paragraph is about. Is it about AI? Is the paragraph about let's say computer science? Is the paragraph about history? Is the paragraph about mathematics? And if the paragraph is about AI, then write an article on AI. If the paragraph is about mathematics, then do nothing. If the paragraph is about history, then write a short tweet of the paragraph. So AI is now taking the input, deciding what the next step should be, and is taking that step, and that's what is called a agentic flow. All right, so what are the two types of agents or the kinds of agents that we have? So we particularly divide agents into a spectrum of control. So how much control do we have, how much control that these agents have, we divide these agents on. So very less control. If we say about agents which have very less control, we call them as router agents. So these agents at a node, they what they do is they see they at a step, they have these different routes in which they will go based on the input, and it just routes to these different steps, just like I told, right? So if I want to create a AI agent which takes two routes, one is if it is a professional email, go to step 2, and if it is a personal email, go to step 3. So it is routing it into two direction, professional and personal. And there is one more agent which is fully autonomous, which is not doing anything, which is taking it the steps also on its own. So it is receiving some data, designing its own steps, and taking those steps autonomously. So that will be a fully autonomous agent. So we have more control of the agent in a router agent. We have more control and the agent has less. And in a fully autonomous agent, the agent has more control and we have a less control. So we don't know in a fully autonomous agent what the agent will reply, right? So it will read the email, it will write a reply, but we don't have a control over what it will reply. With a router agent, we have a control that, okay, if it is a personal email, write a personal reply. If it is a professional email, write a professional reply. And this graph of agent's level of control over reliability is what is shown here. So a agent which will be more reliable uh, if we give them lower control, right? So if we give them less control, they will be more reliable in nature. And why is that? Because we want to have agents do the task that we assign them to, right? Not handling these tasks on their own. And as the agent's level of control goes high, it is generally seen that the reliability is less. I don't know what the AI will reply to my email. So in my last session that I did with students, I accidentally kept my AI agent open to reply the emails, and it gave different replies to different people, which we will make today. And I hope that you are not keeping it open after this session also. All right, so let's start designing our own AI agents. So the main idea behind all the AI agent is that a large language model is there in the picture, whatever, ChatGPT or Gemini or anything. And we use that as a brain to make our AI agent. Right. So we use this large language model to take a decision, generate something, take and then move to other step. Right. So there are two types of agents which we will design in our internship. One is we will design reflex agents, which are like simple agents which have a start, LLM and end, which are kind of like which take an input and generate an output. That's the simplest definition of a reflex agent. So you can say that ChatGPT is a reflex agent, right? So you give some input to ChatGPT, it generates a content. And then there are complex agents where ChatGPT, again, I will not call it as a reflex agent because it does a lot of reasoning task also. It also has a lot of processes. But a simple type of reflex agent can be something that only does a particular task on the input that it receives. Let's say that you design an agent which let's say you design a vacuum cleaner agent which cleans the room when it is dirty and doesn't clean when it is not. So that's kind of like a reflex agent, which is only taking the input. If the room is dirty, clean it. If the room is not dirty, don't clean. Right? So that's kind of like a reflex agent. A complex agent is what decides what to do, right? So there is a start, there is a LLM that decides which path to take, and then there is end of that. So let's say that we design a, a email replying agent where it is classifying my email into personal and professional, and then writing the reply to that email and automatically replying to it. And that's what a complex agent is. It's a very simple definition, although a complex agent can be as complex as different agents working together. Like that's called a multi-agent system. So let's say that if you want to create a digital marketing agent, then you have a content writer, you have a graphic designer, you have a scheduler, you have a strategy designer. All these agents are working with each other to complete your digital marketing tasks. So that's kind of like a complex agent system. Today we start with baby steps. That means that we will design our own reflex agents. First of all, we will go with coding or drag and drop first and then coding. So both of the parts I will cover. For coding enthusiasts, I am covering the coding. And for people who are not very comfortable with coding, I will be using the drag and drop. So both the methods. And then later on, we will move into more complexities when we do more when we learn more, right? So let's let me give you a flavor or kind of like a taste of what these agents can do. So let's create a simple reflex agent today. Not a reflex agent, but it still is a complex agent, but still very simple in nature. No code. And just to give you an idea of a drag and drop AI agent creation. So what this agent will do is it will read your email and it will write an automatic reply to your email. Let's say save it in a draft or send it automatically, right? So let's design that. And before I move on, I will just quickly read the chats. For an AI agent, we don't need an API key. Yes, we need an API key. We will be generating our own API key today. And yes, you will be able to see this masterclass in future. Gunjan is asking, how can AI agent initiate the payment process? So if you use APIs, and that's what I will explain everything in this. All right. So she's asking, how can I agent book hotel flights in behalf of me? You do these completions with API calls, and you give certain permissions to this API to extract or take the information from. Of course, you will have to like initiate the payment only, but she will but what an agent can do is she can send you the payment link and then ask you to complete the payment, right? So what an agent can do is she can what she can do or he can do is or it can do is uh, that it can write an email that, okay, I have searched these hotels, these are the best hotels, I have booked these hotels, you just have to do a payment. Or for the hotels that we don't have to pay, they automatically book it, right? You will always get these PPTs. You will always get all these things. All right. So I will teach everything from using an API in our code to using an API to design our own complex agents. Let's start with baby steps. All the questions that you are asking are valid, but we also have a time to catch. All right. So we will start with building agentic AI workflows with Relay app. So what we will do is we will quickly go to Relay. Uh, why am I seeing this screen again? I'll just quit my WhatsApp. And all right, so let me open another window. All right, that's why I hate working on Mac, because it gives very less freedom. All right, so what we will do now is we will create our first AI agent, right? So, and the AI agent that we are creating is of a very simple nature. What we are doing is uh, it's what it is doing is it is taking in our email, it is reading our email, writing a reply to that email and save it in a draft. So remember that whenever we are designing this kind of agents, we are giving some permission to these companies. And what I have felt is that the companies that I have used with, the company that I am going to introduce is very easy, and I feel that it is safe, that it keeps your data safe. And if you feel that at any point of time that your data is not secure, then please use an account that you not normally use to set up agent like this. Okay. So we'll go to Relay app, and first I will go and I will show you the process, and then you do it, because there is a chance of server crash because a lot of people are logging in at the same time. So we will go to this app called Relay, Relay, and what it will do is it will ask you to log in with a Google, and you log in with a Google, and you continue, and it will automatically log you in, and you do some things like you go ahead. I will just do it from an account which I am not logged in with previously. Let's say that I will do it with my company account, and I'll show you exactly how you will see. So you go to Relay app, and you go to create AI agents for you, and then you log in, and you will see something like this, and you continue with Gmail, and you log in with your Gmail, and it will ask you that it will take these things, and you just continue, and it will say create your account, you continue, and yeah, you will see that a screen like this, where you can create account. All right, so right now if you are doing it with me, there is a chance of like crashing the servers. So just let me do it, and then we will do it together, right? So what happens is like we are 10,000 people live from India, so it takes it as a kind of like a brute force attack, and then the server kind of like crashes. So if you are doing it with me, I will explain the process in detail for you. Um, but let me just do it for myself right now. All right, so if you sign it up like this, so you will see some screen like this, and you click on a new workflow. So you go and click on a new workflow, and then it lets you create this workflow. I think that we have crashed the servers, because I think that we all are working together, on the relay and trying to log in from there, and that's why it is not letting me log in. So let me take a different approach. Let's do the programming first till it loads, and let's take that route first to design our own AI agent. So I will skip this for now. We will design a simple AI agent with Gemini APIs. Okay. And later on, when the relay servers are back, we will be able to use those servers again. All right. So let's create a simple reflex agent with code. So what we will do now is we will write a simple code to make our first reflex agent. So let's say that we want to generate a tweet generator. Okay. So we want to write or make a tweet generator of our own. So what it does is it takes an input text or some in a some form, and it goes to a Gemini. It calls a Gemini API and generates me a output tweet, which I can copy and paste to our Twitter. Okay, we are designing a reflex agent right now. We are not designing an autonomous agent. We will design an autonomous agent in when we will work with these drag and drop tools like Relay. But first, let's design our own simple reflex agent with code. All right, so what we'll do is we will go and get the Gemini API from this link that is there. So I am pasting this link on the chat, HTTPS, and it says ai.google.dev. Okay, so you go to this link. I will also go. Click on this link, https ai.google.dev, and it will take you to this website. You will see something like this, AI for Everyday Developer, and you can click on Explore Models in Google AI Studio. But before that, let me just explain what a AI agent is. Sorry, API is. Okay. So basically what API is let's say in a very simple term, API is kind of like, if you take an analogy, then let's say that you are working in a cafe and you're a customer. Sorry, you're not, you are a customer in a cafe. You are going there trying to get the food. So what you do is you call the waiter, right? So you say, you call the waiter and you say, "Hi waiter, and I want to order something," right? And what this waiter does is it takes an order from you, and it gives this order to the backend, which is the chef, right? It says, okay, this person has ordered, or let's say, um, anything, like let's say pizza. So this person has ordered pizza, and it goes and tells the chef that I want pizza for this customer, and this chef prepares the pizza, and this waiter delivers this pizza to me, right? So these APIs, or application programmable interfaces, are the request are just kind of like analogous to this waiter. They take our request, they go to a server backend system, and from there they complete the task, and then they give us the response. So let's say that Gemini has its large language model, right? So Gemini has designed a large language model which can reply, which can generate text, which can generate videos, which can generate images. So we will use these APIs. We will request these APIs to generate these images for me, and in the backend, these images will be generated and then sent to the front end. So whatever application that I am designing, I can use APIs of different applications. So somebody was asking me in the chat that uh, um, how can it book a flight for me, right? So what can I do is, GoIbibo is a site where I can book the flight from, right? So what I can do is I can take a API of GoIbibo. So GoIbibo, that is kind of like taking access of GoIbibo's servers, right? So what I do is I take access to the GoIbibo servers. In from my dashboard, I am I'm sending a request that, okay, now these are the flights that I find good, and these are the timings. So I send that request to GoIbibo's backend. That request is being fetched there. It is completed. The booking is done. and only you will get a notification of payment, right? So you will get a notification of payment, which you can also handle by a API, by the way. So you can auto complete the payment also. So let's say that you take Razorpay or some other app, and then you integrate that API with that for completing the payment. So the thing is, what we are going to do is with our agent, we are going to design our agent with APIs. So we are using Gemini's API here. And what we will do is we will have some input. So we will say that, okay, design me a tweet, but I will give some input to design that tweet. And the Gemini will take that request and it will generate this output tweet. Okay, so this is what we are going to do in today's class. So we go to this site of Google AI Developer, and you click on export models, explore models in Google AI Studio, and it will say that it will give you a notification that whether you want to build or whether you want to try. You click on this get API key. So this is a free API key that Google offers for certain models, and I will tell you which models you will get for free in this class so that we can generate our own text. So you click on this get API key and you give the consent. So I consent both of them, and it will generate you an API key, and you will get this API key, which you will copy. Okay, so you copy and paste it in a notepad. So you save it in this notepad. All right, so you go to a notepad and save it there. So Google will generate API keys only once, and it will show you these API keys only once. So you have to copy it and save them somewhere. And you never share your API keys in public. So that why you don't share them is because other people can also use your APIs in their apps. All right, so APIs are kind of like a permission that you are giving to your app for someone to generate. All right, so so let's say that I take APIs of OpenAI and I am chargeable for that, right? So I have to pay for generation, and if I leave these API keys in open, then anyone can access my ChatGPT's instance from those keys, and then can generate and then bill me up for that. But right now, what we are going to do is we are going to take these Gemini API keys and we are going to save it in a notepad. All right. So let me know quickly in the chat box if you have reached to this step where you have a API key generated and you have saved that API key into a notepad. All right. So if you have done that, just say yes, done, or something like that in the chat box. All right. So Natik is asking me to repeat the process. Okay. Jatin is saying that you already shared your API key. This key is changed. Okay. So I'm not that uh, careless person. But I will share my API key, but then I will delete it after the session. It's not a problem. Okay, repeat the process. All right, so let's repeat it. So you go to this link, which I have pasted on the main chat, which is ai.google.dev, and you go to that link, and it will take you to a page which looks like this. You click on Explore Models in Google AI Studio. You click on Get API Key. It will ask you to create the API key in the current app, something like that. Okay, so let me just do the process. So let's say that I want to go to the same link that I pasted on the main chat, and I click on this. Okay, so I go to ai.google.dev, which is a site, and I click on Explore Models in Google AI Studio, and I click on Get API Key, and you will see a page like this, and you click on Create API Key. Okay, so if you are seeing a page like this, you will have to click on Create API Key. And I have some projects already with me. So I will choose one. And if you don't have, then you will get a notification of creating a project. You can create a project and then click on Create API Key. And it will generate you a API key, which you can copy and then can paste in your notepad. All right. So let's say that I paste it. All right. So I'll delete this API key once I use it. So it's not a problem. So whenever you are exposing your API keys, you you delete it. So when you find, all right, a lot of people are saying generated, a lot of people are saying done, and yes, thank you so much for replying. That sets up the pace for this class. some people are getting two options. Yeah, for two options, you need to click on create an API key. All right. So not get enrolled. All right. Thank you, Himanshu. He has failed to generate the API key. Maybe you can repeat the process again and you will be able to. All right. So those who are getting failure message, they can repeat the process, restart it, refresh the um, what so someone is saying, sir, a lot of dev using N8N. Yes, a lot of people are using N8N also. There is Make, there is Zapier, but they don't support the free version, right? So this relay gives some credits for free, so you get a flavor of it. So it gives some chat gpt task completions for free. With N8N, you will have to put in your API keys and make it work, right? So that's why I use relay to teach, but the process is same for everything, right? For Make also, for N8N also. All right. So if you have got the API keys, uh, we don't need a heavy amount of coding for that, right? So if you are getting a failed to generate thing, then maybe generate it again. All right. So if you have got the API keys, we will move ahead with our class to saving them in a notepad. Okay, save them on notepad. That's very important. If you don't save it, it will not display it again. Maybe you will have to regenerate it or generate again. So save it on notepad, then open a Google Colab. Okay, so to open this Google Colab, I will share a link on the drive, on the chat, and you will be able to use that link to go to Google Colab. Okay, so let's say, so why I am sharing this link? Because it will give you a framework of what we are going to do in coding. Okay, so I'm going to go to main chat. I'm going to paste this link. So you take this link from me, which is kind of like a framework, a step-by-step process to generate this simple agent. Okay, and we will do some coding and I will explain this. Maybe even if you don't have done any coding before, it's not a problem. I will explain these simple steps. They are very, very simple to learn, very, very easy. Anyone can code with these things. And of course, you have ChatGPT to code. You always can ask ChatGPT to generate. But the idea is to know also the code that we are generating. Okay, so that's why we are typing in the code today. Lokeshwar is asking, does it make any bill? No, it will not make any bill to you. Okay, so this is free API and we will use the free model. So there are many, many models of it. Okay. Okay, so uh, yeah, Shivam is saying about our privacy. We are testing letting the AI agent read our mails. Of course, there is a privacy issue. Even if you are with Google, they are reading your mails, right? So it's always depending on which type of apps that we are giving permission with. And if you're not okay with giving your permission to these AI apps, they can always use a testing, right? So we are just learning in this phase. We are not designing an actual agent. When you're designing an actual agent, we will design it with APIs from Google itself. So let's say that we will use Gmail APIs and all. But just to give you a flavor of what an AI agent can do, we are doing this exercise. All right, so let's start with our steps. And our first step is to install some required packages. So we have this agent, we have this file. So first step is what you have to do is copy this file. Okay, so you will when you click on the link, you will always go to Google Colab. You will see this file, and click on File and save a copy of this in Drive. Okay, why I am saying this? Because this is kind of like a non-readable file, non-writable file. It's just a readable file. So you make a copy of this in Google Drive. Okay, one more time I'm repeating. Um, Go to this file option here and save a copy in Drive. Okay, and in Google Colab, you rename this copy with your name, right? So let's say that my name is Amit and I'm typing it here. Amit, my simple agent. Okay, so first agent we are designing, which is a very simple agent. Okay, so my simple agent, this is the file that you have got, and you make a copy, save a copy of this in Drive, and you will see something like this. Okay. All right. So if you are here, if you have made a copy of this file in Drive and are ready to code, just give me a thumbs up by saying, just give me a thumbs up on Zoom, or by saying that you have done or completed or created or something like that in the chat box. Sanjana is asking, will I provide this PPT? Yes, I will. And so Aniket is saying that the email that he has registered is from a CSR box as the sponsoring organization. That's a question that you will have to ask in the WhatsApp group. I will not answer these questions here. Only I will only answer questions related to the content. Okay. So for platform related issues, I will not ask. Okay. Okay. So I am on this page where I have created and I have uh, shared my. So I have shared my collab link. Yes. You will get my collab link, and let's start to code. Okay. So what you need to do is very simple lines of code, and we will be able to design our first Twitter agent. Okay. So first step is we will install some required packages, and we install these packages by writing pip. Okay, package, which is a kind of like package manager, and we write this pip with a apostrophe. Okay, so in collab we write with apostrophe to upload or download this pip, these packages. Okay, so we will install this first package, which is Google dash generative AI, and we will do it quite. Okay, why quite? Quite is like it will not populate my whole page. Okay, so we are going to install this Google generative AI library. Okay, so very simple, right? Of course, you are using Google, so you will install that. Okay, that's what the code says. And next, what you will do is you will install something like IPy widgets. Okay, and why I'm installing this is to just have a good user interface. Okay, so I install this IPy widgets, and I do it quite. Okay, so two things: I install Google Generative AI and IPy widgets. This IPy widgets is to create a good UI. Okay, nothing else. Create a beautiful UI. Okay. Next thing is I will import some libraries, right? So I have installed these two libraries in my system. Now I will call them. So to call them, I type in import. Okay, import is like I'm importing these libraries into my code. Okay, whatever is there in these libraries, I'm importing them. Okay, so I will import first library, which is Google dot generative, sorry, generative AI, and I will import it as Gen AI. Okay. So let's say that I am importing this first library, which is Google.generative AI, and I'm importing it as Gen AI. Why I'm importing it as Gen AI? So that I don't have to write Google.generative AI again and again in my code. Okay. So what I did, I installed Google's generative AI in my code, and I imported this Google's generative AI library as Gen AI. Okay. Very simple. And then I import this IPy widgets as widgets. Okay. Why I'm doing that? To create a good UI. Okay. And then I am also importing from Python, sorry, Python dot display. I am importing this display and this markdown. Okay. So I'm importing this Google.generative as an AI. I'm importing IPy widgets as widgets, and from IPython.display, I'm importing this display and markdown. So what it will do is it will whatever code it has written, it will display it in a very beautiful way, right? So it just will not give me any random text. It will give me a proper tweet, just like a tweet looks like. Okay. Then what we will do is we will set up our Gemini API. Okay. So I will type in API. So I will make a variable API, sorry, underscore key and I will type in my API key here. Okay. So here I will type in my API key, and what I will do is I'll just, it's okay. I will not hide it. I will share my API keys and then I will delete them whenever I use them. Okay. So you make sure that you are not using my API keys, which again still is not a problem when we are using the uh, I have no credit card that is there on this. So we are already using the free version. So make sure that you are not sharing your API keys which you have paying for, right? So that no one can just take advantage of your API keys. So what I will do is now configure this API key, and I will call it as API key, this parameter as API underscore KEY. Okay. So I'm configuring this Gen AI, which I imported here. I'm configuring this API key. So I'm saying that, okay, this is my API key. You configure this API key in my code. Okay. And next thing is I am going to define my model, which I want to use. So each agent that each large language model has different models, right? ChatGPT has 3.5, 4, 4.0, and these models have different capability, different pricing also. So Google also has different models, and we will use this model variable to define that model. Okay, so I say that Gen AI dot generative and model, and I will choose this generative model, which is Gemini. Sorry, it's small. Gemini, and you say 2.5, and you say Flash. Okay, so you installed these libraries into your code, and then you imported these libraries, this generative AI library as Gen AI, PyWidgets as widgets, IPython display as display or markdown, and then you have these API keys, and then you configure your API keys, and then you have a model which is Gen AI, Gen AI generative model Gemini 2.5 Flash. Okay. All right, so I will just show my code and what is the output of that code, so that you see the output first, and then you are able to design your own agent, and we will have an idea of what my agent does and what kind of work that is does it do, right? So if I run all these steps, all right, sorry, not this one. This one is already open. I think I have one more of the same name, my simple agent, right? So what I'm trying to design is, I think it's named as simple agent. So the agent that we are going to design is a tweet generator agent. Okay, so I'm running all these codes, and wow, it will set up like this. Okay, so it is a tweet generator agent. So whatever topic or title, it asks me for a topic, it asks me for a target audience, it asks me for the tone of it, and then it generates these tweets. Okay, let it install these things for me. Okay, so here is my Twitter agent. So it asks me a topic. So let's say that I want to design a tweet on topic, let's say rainy day. Okay, and the tone of this should be witty. Okay, and audience is general public. Okay, and I define my hashtag rainy day. Very simple agent. Okay, so it is just a tweet generating agent, and I click on this generate tweet, and it takes some time, and then generates this tweet. Yeah, so it generated this rainy agenda, find confused breakfast blanket, brew warm beverage, debate changing out on PJs, nature's perfect excuse for extreme chill. Why? Because my tone was witty, right? So if it was casual, then it would generate me a different kind of tweet. And I say, yeah, so it says rainy days are just the best for cozy vibes, hot tea, a good book, or simply enjoying the peaceful sound outside, pure bliss. right? So this is the kind of agent that we are generating right now, that takes in some input, generates some output. All right, and we are already halfway through. So we are now defining the input form. All right, so let me know in your comment section, in the chat box, if you have configured your API key and your generative AI model, and you are good to go. All right, so let me know in the chat that you are done, or yes, or I am good to go. Okay, so Shruti Srivastav is saying that repeat after learning and everything. Okay, thank you so much. Shubhradev, Pranav, Parshav, Ishita for replying. Parshav is saying, can you explain the API part again? So API is kind of like application programmable interface. It's kind of like, let's say, um, it's kind of like an application that lets you fetch in information from a backend server. Right, so it's kind of like a protocol that can fetch you information. So you make a request, it goes to the backend server. So Google has its own large language model as a backend server. It goes there. It takes your request. So you say that generate a tweet, right? So it takes your request, goes there in the backend, generates a tweet, and then returns it to you in the front end. So this is the front end part that we have right now, right? So my simple agent looks like this here. And then on the base of whatever input it is getting, it is generating the tweet. All right. So let's write this. So let's now define our input form. Okay. So to define our input form, it's very easy. We kind of like have to just create a, um, a kind of like, we use this widgets library here, and you take it, just have to put in parameters inside this widgets library. All right. So let's say for the first, um, part, I take a input. Okay. So like this, it here. So my input is a topic, right? So that I want the user to type in. What is the topic that he wants to generate this tweet on? Okay. So I call this as topic input. So I call this widgets dot text. So because it's my text input that I will take, right? So I will call this widgets dot text option or function, and I will define the parameters in this function. Okay, so I say that the description, or what it should show here, right? The description of this form should be, let's say, topic, OPIC. Okay, and I give a layout. I don't give the inside information for now. Okay, so let's say I give a layout, which is layout equals widgets. This PC is not letting me type. It is always throwing me back, and that's why I have to always click. And I'm giving this parameter as width. Okay, so very simple. Even if you don't know coding, this much that you understand, right? So topic input is my first first cell of this form, which I name as topic, and I take in the input in this whatever a user will type, right? So I give this description as topic, and then I will just copy this. Okay, and I will make more similar things like that. But the next thing that I have here is a drop down, right? So it's a drop down. It's not just a simple text. So I say that, okay, professional, casual, witty, motivational, informative. These are my drop down values. So let me just create that also. From here, I will just change this to drop down, DROPDOWN. And the description of this would be tone. Okay, what is the tone that my agent should take? Okay, and next is, so So description is tone, and uh, you give options. Okay, so you pass in options and you pass in as a list. Okay, and you say professional, and let's say casual, and let's say motivational. Okay, okay, professional, casual, motivational, or informative. Okay, so I have defined my second box or second input, which should be a drop down of professional, casual, witty, motivational, informative. And then I will copy this again and paste. And the next one again is a text, right? So this should be caps, huh? I made a mistake here. It will give me error. It should be caps. The text should be caps. And I will type in audience, right? So whom I am writing it for. And I remove this. And I say audience. Okay. And audience input. Next thing is I will also change these variables. So this is description input, right? And this is my audience input. And next thing is submit button, right? So I have these three things: topic, tone, audience, hashtag. If you want to take hashtag, then I will take hashtags. So similar to what this will be, and I will just copy this. Sorry, I was not able to copy this, paste it here, and instead of audience I am typing in hashtag in. So the exercise that I'm doing is I'm just creating a kind of like form that is kind of like a user interface. Just a very brief gist of what we are doing. It's we are just creating a UI for our agent. Okay, so you can do it in any way. You can do it in a HTML, CSS, JavaScript, wire it up with fast API. There are many things that we will do in our internship, but today is our first class, so let's just take these baby steps. So widgets dot submit, and I'm creating a submit button. Sorry, you don't call it submit, you call it button. And the description you type in, let's say generate tweet. Okay, so my button here says generate tweet, right? And what I can do is I can give a color to it, and comma, and button style equal to success. So let me just keep it default as a green color. Okay, and I can say, I can give a tool tip. I can say tool tip, which is what will tell the users, like I'm seeing here, right? So generate. So if I hover here, then it will say that generate tweet. So I can say tooltip is my click to generate tweet. All right. And I have to put a comma here. Okay. So I forgot to put a comma after every line. It will give me an error. I'll just put a comma. So that's the thing with live coding. You always experience some things you forget. And then you take a variable which is output, and in that you store the generated tweet. So you take in variable output, and you whatever output you get out of these widgets, and you call that. Okay. So what we did was we designed this form, okay, very simply, by very simple code, which is kind of like we are describing whatever widget was there. Okay, so text widget, we have a drop down widget, we have a text widget again, we call it audience, we have a text widget, we call hashtag, we have a button which we call generate tweet, and then we display this beautiful form there, right? So as an input, taking a input. Okay. All right, so we are running out of time. So let's quickly do that and run this code and see if we are experiencing any error. There is no error, which is fine. And uh, quickly do this and let me know in the chat box if you are done. Okay, so that we can move ahead. The Google link is, can you share the Google link after completion? Of course, I can share it after completion, but uh, Tanishk is saying that share this code in chat too. If you are not even willing to write the code, then I don't know how to help you, man. So I can definitely share this. I can share my whole file also. But the idea is to just learn, just to give it a try at least, right? So of course, the code can be written by AI tools also, but we need to also go into a little bit of understanding of those codes. What are they? What do they look like? Of course, they can like AI can produce us code, but they are not always reliable. So a bit of understanding about coding is also good. Thank you so much. Those who are saying explain step 4 in briefly. So let me explain it. So basically what we are doing is we are creating this simple form, okay, which is a tweet generator agent. And what we are doing is in order to create this form, we are writing a simple code which is taking this widgets library. So this form is called kind of like a widget, and I'm taking these widgets like widgets.text, widgets.dropdown, widget.text, text, and button. So in my form, you see that there is a text option here, there's a drop down option here, there's a text option here, there's a text option here, and then there is a option to generate tweet, right? So my form will have all these things. So I'm creating a form with this. All right. So Pranav is asking how to know all features. So if you type in widgets somewhere, right? So let's say I type in, so you type in widgets and you type in tab after that. So sorry, it will give you um, suggestions, right? So widget dot. So if you type T, and then it gives you all these text area, toggle button, toggle buttons, toggle style, 2 by 2 layout, in text, float text, widget templates. And if you type something like that, and you can always check this library on the internet also, right? So if you go to this library, which is IPy widgets, and you type in Google IPy widgets, and then you press enter, you'll go to this library which is called IPy widgets, and you can see what are the what you can design with this inside this. All right. So you can always check a library and see what the kind of things that you can design with this, but you can always type in and it will give you some suggestions. Most of the forms are there, but we will not use it. This is just ones that we are using. Okay, so to create this very simple type of agent. All right, the important thing is step 5, which is to create the generate tweet function in which we will generate the tweet, right? So what we will do is we will define this function. For defining a function, we write def and we say generate, okay, and underscore tweet, and it takes in some variable, let's say b, okay. And I take this output as a clear output, okay. So the output of this uh, function as clear underscore output. All right. And now the main part, right? So remember, whenever you chat with any large language model, you give it a prompt, right? So here you also have to define a prompt. And here the prompt engineering will help, which we will cover in the next session. How can we engineer our prompts? Okay. So I will type in here as prompt, and I will type this in F string literal so that I can parse in values. Okay, so this F will allow me to parse in some values. Okay, and I'm using three commas so that I can type in next line. Okay, and Yeah. So prompt, I am using these three inverted commas so that I can type in from the next line so that it looks better. Okay. So I say you are an expert. All right. Expert. Content. Oh my God, it's not letting me even type. This Apple thing has writer. Okay. Generate a tweet about the topic. Okay, so you say generate the tweet about this topic, and here you pass the topic, right? So topic, so this variable that you made here, right? Topic input, right? So you made this variable topic input and dot value. You pass in this value and this, and use a tone. Use a tone. Okay, and you pass it the tone value. Okay, so tone is descriptions input, right? So you take, you can just change this variable to tone input. Okay, so I think I mistyped it. So it can be tone input. Use a tone input, and you type in the value. And next, generate tweet for audience, and I'm saying for audience, and I'm saying this audience, right? So audience input, and I take this audience input and dot value, sorry. And what it should also use is include the hashtags, and I take in hashtag input and dot value. Okay. And finally, keep it under 280 characters. And then I'm saying, okay, ending this prompt. Okay. So I'm writing this prompt. I'm defining a f string literal where I can also input values. So I'm adding these values from my form. So I say that I have whatever you have got in topic input, take that value. Whatever you have got in tool input, take that value. Whatever you have got in audience input, take that value. Whatever you have got in hashtag input, take that value and write a prompt like this. You are expert content writer, generate a tweet about the topic, whatever topic I type, use a tone, whatever tone I type, generate tweet for audience, whatever the audience is, include the hashtag, keep it in a 20 character. So to write this prompt, I will give an exercise. We will do exercise tomorrow and how to perfect it more, right? So that it always generates you the proper tone, proper output. So we will say that uh, we will try to use a try and catch statement. So we'll say with output, sorry, I use this, and so that we don't have any error. Um, we say try, and so I take the response of the model in a variable. So I say that response model, sorry, response of the model, or I just say that response, and I call this model function. Model function, model dot, and I'll take generator, generate content. Okay. And I will type in here prompt. So I take this model generator, take this model, which is my generative AI model, and I ask it to generate content on the prompt that I have given. Okay. And I save this in a variable called tweet. Okay. I will explain this code one more time. Let me just write it. Okay. response dot text, and I'm taking a text strip. Okay. And I'm also using this display function, which I imported from the library above, and display this as markdown. So this is basically, they will display whatever star. So this, just like in your WhatsApp, whenever you have two stars around a word, it automatically displays that as bold, right? So that whatever response you get, if you have two stars, you display it as bold. Okay. And then you define it with F, and you say hashtag. So in markdown, you have these values. You say generated tweet. Okay. You say that in bold. So basically this will make this generated tweet in bold. And then in the next line, one more next line, backslash, and then you call this tweet, okay, which is generated. Okay, so you say generated tweet, and this tweet, whatever is being generated. All right, I think we are good to go. And with this, I also need to put in exception. So I say except if there is an error, right? So, and any error I take as exception as E, and print this error. And whatever error I have. So if my API fails or submit something like that happens, then I always get this error logged in, and I will call this submit button, and I will call this on click function. So whenever I am clicking that on click, and what you do is you basically generate tweet. So whenever you click on this submit button, it generates this tweet, right? So there are some errors that I am having here, which is, I think my submit button is not, yeah, so I think my submit, this should be my submit button, right? So instead of hashtag output, I will just write in submit button, right? And I run this, and submit button is not defined. I think I have defined it, but I have not run it. So I'll just run it again, and then run it. And yeah. And finally, you have to display the form. Okay. So to display the form, I will just go to my code now. So what you can do is you can take in this form, and you call this vbox method to call this in a box, and whatever widgets that you want to call as HTML, you are putting in a value heading 3. So this is kind of like a tweet generator agent. You are putting it as a heading, and then you are putting this topic input, tone input, audience input, hashtag input, submit a button, and output whatever is there, displaying like this. So I'll just copy this form and send it to you as a main chat. Okay. So you just copy this, and you can just paste it as it is, and then you will be able to get this form. And then you test your agent by testing it like this, so that we are doing it a little faster, right? So you copy the code for displaying it there, right? Yeah, so Subhadeep is saying that button is also hashtag input. No, button is not hashtag input. So that was what my error was. And that's what we removed. So it will be named as submit button, right? So that's what we sometimes have when we are coding on line. Then maybe sometimes I don't care about the errors, and then we remove it later on. So displaying the form, I will also copy the same thing from my chat and I paste it here to display my form. And when I run it, it will display me all this. So it says hashtag button, but I have not defined that. Maybe somewhere hashtag input. Hashtag input. I think hashtag input is defined, which I defined here. I think I forgot a H. Okay. All right, so I have this simple reflex agent with me where I type in topic. Let's say I talk about AI Masterclass today on IBM skills build. Okay. So let's say that, and tone should be professional, audience should be, let's say, students, and hashtag should be hashtag IBM, and I generate a tweet, and it takes some time. I can add in a loading button and then all for my user experience, but right now don't need it necessarily. And after some time, it should generate me a tweet and display. All right, maybe there is some error in the code. I'll just debug it. I think here is the error. It should be exception. And run this and generate. So output is not defined. Maybe somewhere I have not defined the output in, or maybe I have given it as a capital O. And the tone is casual and audience is students and hashtag, let's say IBM. All right, my output is not defined. Somewhere I have keep an output as O. I think it should be small o, and my error will be removed now. Where is this variable? Output, I am writing everywhere, right? All right, so it is generating this tweet, but still saying output is not defined, but generating this tweet like this, ready to dive into the future. Our AI Masterclass is going to be super cool for anyone looking to get smart about AI, level up your skills. Still trying to find out where my output is. Yeah, output.clear output. Yeah, I have changed it now. So I think that it should not give me error. Yeah. So now it is giving me this beautiful generated tweet like this. All right. So I will just idea of how we can make our own AI agents, and then we can use this prompt engineering to make our agents like this reflective. Now, we can make it as an app with different technologies, like let's say HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then you parse on this data to LLM. LLM is deciding something on the base of that data by some if and else statements, and then giving you some answer which you are parsing again. But just to give a flavor of how to start with this, this was the first program that we wrote. So I will share this also with you so that you are also uh, taking this as example. And all right, so it's always good to write your own code, but if you're not writing, you can also always use like your ChatGPT, but you should know what is there in the code. Now you know, right? So what are these input forms? So you can change these input form to some other thing. Let's say you want to now design a Facebook post generator. Maybe your Facebook post inputs should be something different than a Twitter post, and maybe that if you want to write a LinkedIn article, maybe your inputs will be different, right? Yeah, so someone said that don't share my key, don't share my code because it has my API key. Don't worry, I will just delete my API key from here. All right, so what I will do now is quickly delete my API key so that I think I used different account to generate my API key. Yeah, I'll go to my project and so we remember that whenever you share some API key, let's say that accidentally you shared it with someone. So what you can do always is you can delete this API key from here so that other people can't use it in their code. Okay. So accidentally, if you have shared your API key, then you will have to delete that. All right. So if we are good with this, then we still have 15 minutes left to uh, make our simple drag and drop agent. Okay. But before that, just a uh, quick request that please don't do this with me, because then we will jam these relay.app servers, and that's not what we want, because then basically I will not be able to teach. Okay, so wait for some time so that I can make this and teach you all right. So this relay app is kind of like a drag and drop system of what we did with code. What we did with code was something else. We designed a Twitter agent, although we can design a Twitter agent also here. But here we are designing a simple AI agent where we are reading our email. Okay, so what I will do is we will add a trigger. So a trigger is when an AI agent, when we revoke a AI agent. So in our code, our trigger was that submit button, right? So when we put that information, when we press submit, it was triggering my AI agent. It was writing something and then displaying it beautifully there. All right, so my trigger here will be a Gmail, right? So if I got a Gmail, got an email, so email received, right? So I will select here email received. Okay, so my trigger will be email received, right? So if I receive an email, trigger a run when I receive an email, right? So only trigger for the first email in conversation, not for every email. And you click on done. Okay, so your trigger is you receive an email. Okay, so and you have provided your Gmail keys in this. Okay, so because you have logged in at Gmail, so you are providing your Gmail write and auth keys to this app. Then you add a next step, which is a AI app. Okay, so um, now, so you started this email, you got a trigger, and you the next step is that you put in an AI inside. All right, so you add an AI, and this AI will write something. Okay, and what I want to write is I want to write an email. Okay, and I say next. So I will not keep this here, so I will give a prompt. So you are Amit Tiwari. Okay, I'm giving my name, and AI consultant. Uh, Please write a reply to the email, and here I will write in what is the email that I have received. Okay, so whatever email I have received, I will press a @, and then take in the body of that email. Okay, so please write a reply to the email, whatever the email body is, and keep the tone professional. Only return with email body. Okay. All right. So this is what I have made. The second step was to use a AI, right? So it uses a ChatGPT API, and it gives some 500 free credits to to write with. So I receive an email. The second step is to write with AI, and the third step is to send an email, right? So very simple agent that we are designing. So right now we are not even scratching the surface of agentic AI. The last AI, the agent that we designed with coding was just sending some information to ChatGPT and giving me a reply. That was a reflex agent, right? So it is not it is not making any decision right now, right? It is not performing any task. It is generating me a tweet. This is how we see normal large language model as reflex agents, right? So you give them information, they give you output. And this is more of a kind of like orchestrator, which is receiving an email and then writing this email and then sending this email. So I'm putting a send email, and I am sending it to this email whom I have received it from. Okay, so whoever I am receiving it from, I will type in, I will click in this, and I'm sending this to that person. All right, and the subject of that would be the same subject that that person has sent it to me. Okay, same subject right now just for that, and the body will be taken from the AI output. So whatever email my AI generates, the body inherits that output. All right, and that's it. I'll press and done, and I think I've added in, yeah, send email to whoever I have received the email from, whatever the subject was, whatever the AI generated, and when I press done, it's working. All right. So what I will do now is I will send myself a email. Okay. So I will make it on, and I will send myself an email from uh, other ID. Okay. So let's say that from my work ID, I send myself an email. Okay, I will explain that step one more time. So to, and the subject is email testing agent. So hi Amit, I am sending this mail to check if the email agent is working correctly. If, and regards. Okay, so let me just send it to myself, and I send it. Once I send it, what it will do is it will automatically trigger a run, and it will just show me here. Okay, so it's turning on the trigger, and it will just trigger automatically, and it says never trigger. I'm checking for updates, and it has not run. So I will just start a test run. Okay, so it's looking for my emails, and I will select run for the selected email, and it will do a run. So right now I'm doing it manually because the run was not invoked, although it did run once, and it is writing me this with AI, and it will send me an email. So now I will see in my work email, I've got this email. So it says, hello, thank you for your email. I can confirm that your message has been received successfully. Please let me know if you need any further verification or assistance, right? So how cool is that? So this is just giving me this email format like this. So it's saying that dear recipient name. You can always give more input to this chat GPT. You can train this AI agent with chat GPT, and you can give a more structured prompt so that it takes the name also. Let me also send me myself another email to check if my agent is working fine or not. And my subject is application for leave, and I let's say I type in uh, uh, dear Amit, I need to have a rest for a day. Please grant me leave tomorrow. Okay, and I just send it to myself, and I see that my agent, what is there, is doing a run, and if I just refresh it, so it triggered a run. Second run was with email testing agent only, so I will just refresh it. So right now we are flooding the servers, that's why it's not working as it should be, but whenever I receive an email I should see a run there. Okay, so it is running this, it is in progress, and I go to my Gmail and I say, this is my application for me. I sent this, dear Amit, I need to have a rest for day. Please grant me leave tomorrow. And I see my sent message that it has sent to this. Dear, thank you for informing me. Your leave for tomorrow is approved. Please ensure all urgent tasks are delegated or communicated in advance. And best regards from myself. So yeah, I have given myself a leave tomorrow. All right, so this is the kind of amazing things that we can do with these yeah, agents. But today we started with baby steps, designing our own first email agent. It was using this large language model in as a intellectual being, which is reading your mail, replying to your mail, keeping the tool professional. And then tomorrow we will see how we can make this large language model work better with better prompts. Then we'll go deeper into something called LangGraphs. Then we will also explore something from IBM, how you can design your own agent, which is intelligent and deciding some certain things with IBM Watson. And a lot to learn in this internship. We are just started, and I hope that you have designed your own email agent, but once you are designed it, you remember to keep it off. So I will just explain one more time the steps that were there, and I will just delete all of these, so that I create my AI agent again. It's very simple. What you need to do is you need to define a trigger. I'm deleting this. So this trigger is the point that your AI agent will start from, and it can start from an email, which is the email that you received. And then the next step would be using an AI in the loop to write something. And basically it is writing an email. I am not good with this, and I am saying that I'm defining a persona, who you are. You are Amit Tiwari. So I want it to write mail on my behalf, and an AI consultant and trainer. And you say that write email reply to whoever is that from email, and sorry, no, it will take an email address. Can I delete this? To whatever is the body. Okay. uh yeah, you can also add in here the name. So email reply to whatever is the name of the person, and use read this email, and I say this email is here, and reply with only the body. Okay, so that I keep the subject there. And then I add another block, which is to send email. And I say send email to yourself. No, so not to myself. Send email. And you send this mail to whoever you have received this email from. And subject you keep same. And you add a body from the email output, and then you save it, right? And then you publish it, and then you switch it on, and then your mail agent is ready, right? So it is not just generating, it is also interacting with two different APIs. So it is interacting with the email agent API, it is interacting with your chat GPT API, and then sending it to the email, sending the email using the main email API. Okay, right? All right, so that's it for today's class. I hope that you all have designed your first agent. Although that was just a reflex agent that we designed, a tweet generator. We will do more things in this internship, all these live things, so that you are also learning and designing along the way. So it's not just learning, it's also making and deploying, right? All right, so we are good to go now. We already started with a delay, but we have managed to end it on time. Thank you so much for joining again. Saksham is saying that Google Colab link is not working. Yes, it is working. And yeah, thank you so much, Rajashi, for telling cell 12O is large. RN is saying, can we make this AI agent using coding? Of course, we can make this using coding. This person, this relay guys, they have made it with coding only, right? So the only thing that you need is how can you access the APIs of your email, and that's a kind of like a tricky part. You have to use the OAuth 2.0 for that, which we will learn in our class. How can you make it with coding, no code, low code, everything. So for people those who hate coding, I am teaching this low code. For people who love coding, I will be always teaching this with coding. So both of the things will be included in the class all the time. Uh, can you use VS Code instead of Google Lab? Yes, of course you can use VS Code, and you can install these libraries in your system. I think the collab link that I shared later was not shared properly. So I'll give the permissions. Yeah, I'll just share it. I think the permissions are fine with this. And I think I'll just copy the link and paste it in the main chat again. I hope that it works. Sent the code to you guys. And what does publishing agent means? Will others use your agent? So you can make agents that others use. You can also make agents for yourself. So publishing can mean different for different people. It can mean for different. So let's say that if you want to use your own agent, you will publish it for yourself. If you want to make it live for other people to use it, then you publish it for other people also. Chris is saying, as we graduate and go in companies, will the younger generation take our job? We will have experience, but they will have new tech. I think the debate about is not about the experience and the tech part. The debate is more about who is creative, who can solve more problems, who can communicate better, not only with humans, but also with the generative AI tools. That means that you need to be very, very specific what you want from these AI agents and the tools. And that will help any generation, whether it is younger or not. Okay. Hemraj saying that he can't copy my code. Yes, because I have not given editing rights, right? So what you will need to do is you will need to have make a copy, save a copy in Drive. Okay, so you can't copy my code because it's a view only. What you can do is you can save a copy in Drive of that code. Okay, so if you are seeing my code and not able to use it, just save a copy. And remember, I have deleted this API key, so this is not usable anymore. You will have to put in yours. Okay. RNA saying, can we also post tweet on Twitter? Yes, you can post tweet on Twitter directly using AI. So what you will need to do is you will need to find the Twitter API, and you will need to go to that Twitter document developer platform and make your own API. See how you can call this API to post these APIs on your behalf, post your tweets on your behalf. You will have to do this. This can be kind of like a project work that you can take up. So you make your Twitter API, you take this API from there, call it in your Google Colab, and write a simple code using, let's say, ChatGPT. Ask it to write a code that can directly post your tweet that you are generating into Twitter using the Twitter APIs, and that can be done. But Twitter only gives certain amount of basic features for hobbyists, so they can only do 3,000 posts per month, and that is fine, I guess. All right. I have shared the whole code, so um, um, Jen is saying that Ali Jen is saying, from what I understand, the code is simply calling the Gemini API. All right, yeah, of course. We the agentic part was just the large language model that we use today. That was a reflex agent, but um, we start with simpler agents, right? If I go into complicated agent which is making some decision and all, and then I write the code, then maybe it will confuse you. But I promise you that we will go into that. We will design agents that can make complex task happen. Anshul is asking, is this an internship? I think it is. Yes, that's what you enrolled with, and you will be getting in internship certificates. Yes. Abhishek is saying how to code perfectly. I would say that to learn any coding language is a redundant right now. You can you should learn how the language works, like the how can you tweak your code, and you can generate this code with AI at any point of time. So you go to ChatGPT, ask it to generate code. But the main idea of typing the code with our hand today was to just practice it, right? To see how to just see in between the lines of the code. That's what is more necessary. Uh, Dhanvi is asking, sir, now is the agentic AI era. What do you think the future buzzword of AI era can be? I think it would be robotics. I am very hopeful with human beings and robotics and all. So AI agents now are software agents. I am very hopeful to see hardware agents which can do certain tasks. Maybe can wash my dishes so that I can do painting and all these things. So I'm hopeful that I will see that in future. Uh, Soham is saying, is the AI agent replying to all mail ID or only a particular mail? You can train it to reply to all mail IDs and also a particular mail only. So you can train it what should be uh, uh, your audience. Yes, you will get a recording of this masterclass. Raj is asking, you will get that from YouTube Live. Algorish is saying, do we use Python only? Python is the best and the easiest. So we will stick to Python in our masterclasses. Uh, Adit says, where do we get that IPy widget code? So you get this IPy widgets code by searching IPy widgets library in Google, and you will see that the code is there. Selen is asking, please share LinkedIn profile. Yes, I forgot to do that. I think I have added it to one of my slides. I will just add it here. So yeah, if you have any other doubt, please connect to me on LinkedIn. I am always uh, ready to solve in doubts in LinkedIn. So my ID is this. Connect to me on LinkedIn. If you have an idea that you are developing, then also let me know. If you have anything else to share, if you are working on some project, you want to work on some project, you have some idea that you want to develop, let me know in there. Right? Yeah, you can also showcase your ideas on LinkedIn. Algorithm is saying, so each time we need to create an agent for a particular platform, we need to use the API for that platform. Yes, that's the key. So if you want to create an agent for in the platform that you want to work on, you will call the backend of that tool. So let's say that you want to work with Google Sheets, then you will call in your backend of the Google Sheets. That will give you the read and write permission, right? Otherwise, how will you do that? All right. So if the team has some necessary announcements, Karthik, you can do that. I will just reply to the messages on chat. So I will take in the replies as chat.
All right, Amit. Thank you very much. So that was a great session. We are getting a lot of queries about the links to Google Colab and then also links to the Gemini API. Do not worry. You all will receive those links in your resource documents and your WhatsApp groups. So do not worry about that. All the important receipts, you will receive them through your WhatsApp groups. Also, we were delayed in the beginning. We have already taken a lot of time. So I'll quickly wrap this up, provide you some important information to end this. So you guys must be wondering about all the tools that you will learn about in the future and also what you'll learn in today's masterclass. So you will get your domain IDs that are required to access IBM Cloud and other software tools. So using those domain IDs, you will be able to get access to those tools absolutely free of cost. So those IDs, those domain IDs and credentials will be shared with you in the next week. And of course, we have already talked about this, but this is for everybody, people on YouTube or people in Zoom as well. So we have extended the deadline for by 2 more days because a lot of you were occupied with your assignments and work in college. So you can use the weekend now. That is, you can use a Saturday and Sunday and submit your completion certificate on 13th of July 2025. That is Sunday by 5 p.m. The QR code that you see on the left of your screen, that is the form where you will be submitting your final completion certificate. And what you see on the right of your screen, that is what your certificate will look like. So make sure that you do not submit the certificate for other courses, that is either getting started with AI or agentic AI, unleashing the agent, or rise of multi-agent systems. Make sure when you complete all those three assignments, you will receive the final completion certificate that will look like this, and it will be called from learner to builder, become an AI agent. Make sure you submit that. And let's move on. Hopefully, you have taken a screenshot and saved this form. You will also receive the link to this form as well in your WhatsApp groups. So all those who are still not able to complete the assignments, make sure you do it by 13th of July. Use your weekend and you can complete all the necessary things. Then also let me also tell you what other thing awaits you in the future. So what you see on your screen right now, these are little glimpses where towards the end of this certification program, you will get the opportunity to interact with and talk to experts from the industry, and this will help you gain recognition. Get You will also pitch your ideas, the projects that you'll make, the programs that you'll make. You'll be able to pitch those ideas to industry experts and get the opportunity to stand out and gain recognition. You can also put in your completion certificates and badges on LinkedIn and tag IBM over there, which can help, which might get you a response from IBM. All right. And not just that, the best performing students also get the opportunity to participate in what we call the showcase events. So showcase events are where something that happens every year, and from this certificate program, the top performing participants from all around the country are invited to these events, and they are given problem statements live and asked to create solutions. And the winners do get certificates, vouchers, and other prizes. And In the end, obviously, if you guys have any query, you guys already have the access to the query form. You'll also find the link in your WhatsApp groups as well. You can scan this QR code. And other than that, if you are any queries, you can also reach out to us on support@sbcsrbox.com. Okay, make sure that all team members complete and submit their deliverables on time. Ensure all team members have received the domain ID and password to register on IBM Cloud. And of course, reach us through any QR form. Reach us through the query form if you have any doubts or queries. And again, submission form is quite important. Make sure you submit your completion certificate. And in the end, get your certification completion program. When you complete it, you'll receive the certificate from our end as well. So we are also receiving queries about whether this is a certification program. Some people are asking if this is an internship. So I would like to clarify, this is a certification program by IBM Skillsville, all from learner to builder, become an AI agent architect. So this is a certification program revolving around the subject of agentic AI. Okay, so we have reached the end for today's session. You can use this QR code to mark your out attendance. You will also get the link to marking your attendance out in your chat